Hey, my lovelies, it's me, author Alexandria Infante, coming to you with a new review. So, excuse me. So basically, I had uploaded another review this afternoon of a book that I really freaking loved. Oh my god, that book was so good. It was a serial, but as I was doing it was a book that Jen sent me. Our original review was supposed to be of just one second. It was supposed to be of The Offer by L.L. Frost, but then turns out after I did some digging of my own, she isn't an indie author. And so basically we only review indie authors on this channel because it's so hard for them. Most people who have been published by a publishing company, they do your marketing for you, and I know that for a fact because in 2011 I was picked up by Eternal Press, and Eternal Press did all my advertising. I didn't have to. I know that they're trying to switch it to where the author does some and the company does some, but they take monetary gains out of your which is the reason why they get 60% and you get 40, because of the fact that they use that for marketing. So if your publishing company isn't marketing your book and you are a published traditional author, you got some problems and you need to check your contract, because that's not cool. So anyway, so we only do indie authors on this channel because indie, they need love. They need someone helping them, to put their stuff out there so people will come and watch the reviews and buy their books. So what I also hope the indie authors who have actually gone with us are linking their book, their video too. So I will talk about that a little bit more after I finish the review. So tonight's review, so Jen sent me a substitute, and oh my gosh, this book it is a serial as well, because of the fact that I've read the first two books from the other author. I didn't have time to read a full. I mean, I can read, but that's like Flash Gordon speed reading right there. So there's no way I would have been done with a book in time enough to do this review, because it's 5 o'clock, and basically I just got home. I gotta do other things. There's no way I could have still been reading that book. So the one this morning was easy because I got to read the two books at the gym while I was working out. Well, by the time I realized that she wasn't an indie author, it was too late and I had to get something quick. So she sent me this, and I've read the first book like a long time ago, and then so basically the majority of it was still in my mind, so I just reread it, skimmed through it to remember exactly everything that happened. So now this book is a freebie. It is a trilogy. It is 3 books to this series. And basically, this would be more of a fetish book, which is the reason why I know she sent it to me. But this is a fetish because the book is called A Slave for the Demon. And it's by Verity Vixen, Paranormal Demon Lust, Book 1. So that pretty much tells you what it is right there. And here's the cover. So basically, the main character, I don't even think they give her a name because she's a slave. It's pretty much mostly slave girl. Come here, slave girl, do this. Slave girl, do that. I don't remember them giving her a name. Yeah, she doesn't have a name because she's a slave. So anyway, so she has been a slave her entire life, all her life. Not as a slave in like, people color type slave. Like you are bound to a demon, so you become his slave. And so basically when she was born, I guess her parents bound her to this demon. And so or in this demonic world, or this, they basically chop rocks, blocks, all that kind of stuff. Kind of remind me of like that one scene in Indiana in is it the Temple of Doom? Yeah, Indiana and the Temple of Doom, where the little kids, the Caliph is evil, and the kids are in there breaking rocks, and they're pretty much dying from starvation. Well, that's her life, and so basically, one day she's in the slave pits, and she's chopping her rocks, doing the stuff that she's supposed to be doing, and then this really fancy looking guy comes through. And he's like holding a handkerchief to his nose because of the stench and all of that stuff. And so he tells all of the girls to line up. So it's probably about 50 of them. And so he tells them all to line up. And so they line up. And then it just so happened, when he told her to line up, the way that the line went, it actually put her at the beginning of the line. And so she's like, crap, crap, crap. And so she's looking down because she doesn't want them to pick her, because she had heard the horrible, horrible stories of what happens if the demon picks you. And I can't say on the channel because it's very, very bad. But basically, what happens if the demon picks you? And so she is praying that he won't. And so she like puts her head down, and then he comes and he stands in front of her anyway, and he's like, lift her face up so I can see her face. And then she's just like, and so he takes her. And then they bathe her, they clean her, they do all that stuff. There is a scene before that's very, very explicit that I can't say. When the Keeper, this guy's name, his name is called the Keeper. So basically, no one in this book has names. At least if they did, I don't remember anyone calling her anything except for Slave Girl. Maybe they do in book 2, because I just started book 2. And so basically, so she is referred to throughout the book as Slave Girl. And so he's like, come here, slave girl. And basically they have a scene, like a really, really sexy, hot scene. And then she's like surprised. And then he's like, I can't touch you because you belong to the demon. And so basically she's like, okay. So then she gets up from the bed, and then she hears footsteps, and another guy comes in, and he looks like, she's just like, oh crap. He's got like black eyes, but he's very, very handsome. And then so the other guy refers to him as the Keeper. So he's like the Keeper. And so basically he tells her what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. And then so she's standing there, and then they bathe her, they get her all, like pristine and primped up for the master. And so they take her into this room, and she's standing in this room, and then there's like this big, huge mirror in the room. And then all of a sudden the mirror starts to like, shimmer or whatever. And then she's just like, because you could see the demon, like the actual real demon, and the way he looks coming toward the window, and I mean toward the mirror. And so then as she's standing there, like completely, totally petrified, especially because she had heard all the stories of what happened to girls that the master took, she's just like, she's freaking out inside. And then he steps through the mirror, and she's just like, and he's like 7 feet tall. And so basically all the stuff that happens after that, I cannot say, because this book, excuse me, if you are out there and you have read one of Kenesha Knowles' books, or Arlie Parker's books, or Siren Allen, or Kenya Ride, or, oh my gosh, like those, seriously, where you're sitting there like, oh my god, this book is on that level. So I tried reading it. I read this at the gym, but I literally had to keep the screen black like this, because what I do is I don't have the time to actually sit there and hold a book throughout my day, and like especially when I'm working, because I'm an executive chef. I got to be like, you come here, you get this, pretty much doing that. And basically I work for a catering company, so we got tons of stuff to be doing. And so I don't have the time to like do that. But I have a little pouch that I stick the Kindle in, and then basically strap it on, and then I can put my Bluetooth in, and it can read the book for me while, like, say if I have to chop out some arugula or something, I can just get that done and be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. That's why people always think I'm crazy. But, so So basically, I literally had to keep the book, like dark. I couldn't let the screen come up because you could see the words. And the treadmill, usually the person is like right here. And if they have good eyesight, they can see that. And so basically, my face is always red. So this isn't the book that you want other people like looking over your shoulder, unless you just don't care. If you're that bold and you're like, whatever, I'm reading something, then totally go for it. But this book is on that. This is probably, you get like 1X for this. Like, okay, because you know how we have the rating scale and we have R. So most of the books that we have read so far are R or NC. R, so they're up there, they're like RR, and then you have an X. Well, she would be an X. This is your first X. Instead of XXX, she's getting 1X for this book. And to top it off, it's a fetish book. So that means she just took all kinds of liberties. And now the book is good. It's really good. And so I'm the only issue I have with this book, it's a serial. So it has two other books to it. So I already downloaded book 2. I bought book 2, and book 2 was only 99 cents. So the first book is a freebie. I had bought it years ago, so I technically didn't have to rebuy it. She reminded me, and I just had to click it, and it set itself, like how once you buy the book, even if you don't read it or it's been way years, because I bought this years ago, basically, because this came out in 2015. And so I bought this years ago, and it's been on my Kindle ever since. And so I pretty much just had to click it to have it revamp itself, like if the author did any, updates or whatever. And Kindle will do that for you. So, which is why I like the Kindle better than I do the Nook. But anyway, so basically, it's a very quick read. I really liked it. Here's the cover again, because I don't mind reading fetish. I really liked it, and the author is Verity Vixen. I really liked it, and if I had to start the book, I would start at 3.75. The reason it doesn't get a 4 stars is because of the abrupt ending. It has a very abrupt ending. And then book 2 is 99 cents, and each of these books are only 30 pages. So the first one was free, and it's 30 pages. The second one is free, and the first book is 34 pages. The second book is 34 pages. So it'll only take you about 20 minutes to read this, if that long. And then the third book is 33 pages. And the thing that got me is like, okay, I like the book. The book was good. I will star her, 3.75. But the thing that annoyed me is the third book is $2.99, and it's only 33 pages. So that's like, I'm not sure why she did that, but when you do things like that, you basically piss off your readers, and they're not going to buy it. If she's getting people buying those books, I would be very, very surprised, because they must really want to read it, and they need to finish the ending of the story, because normally when you pull a gimmick like that, readers see through it and they're just like, no, that's not cool at all. So basically, and for 33 pages, especially when authors are paying $2.99 for like 150 pages, but yours is 33 and it's $2.99. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work for her. But anyway, so I did like the book. The book was sexy. It was hot. I give it a 3.75. And then I'm waiting to read. I bought book 2, so I started reading book 2. I haven't finished because I got something else to do. But it's only 33 pages. Like, I could sweep the floors in my house, and I'd probably be done with it because it's that short. So, but yeah. And that's pretty much it to this review. Once again, it's by author Verity Vixen, and it's called A Slave for the Demon, and it's Paranormal Demon Lust Book 1. And here's a picture of the cover again, so you guys can see that. I hope you can see it. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Because I don't want to hit that thingy and then we go orange again. Yay, it's staying. And so that's pretty much it. So now, just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Okay, we are getting submissions. Thank you so much for those submissions. But we're having an issue with some of the submissions not being formatted, like, or what we like to call book ready in the author world. So, if you need some pointers, ask Jen, because she doesn't mind. Jen actually has a little service that she does where if you pay her $35, she will format your book for you. She did one the other day, and basically, because when you guys send us just I'm not sure if like anyone's not told you how to format a book. It's a specific way that it has to be formatted, especially for Kindle, because if you don't, then it jumps pages and leaves big, huge gaps. It will, if you hit the page break instead of break into, there's two breaks on when you're in a Word document. You have page break, which will break it just a little bit. You could do the tab. The tab, never ever use the tab. And then you have actual breaks, which will break it at least a page and a half. So when you put it into Kindle, it gives you one page. So there were certain things that you have to do to your manuscript before you can put it on Amazon. And if you haven't done that to your book and you're not getting a lot of sales, that's probably why, because when the readers are opening your book, it looks like a Word document, and that's not what your book should look like. It should look like a manuscript. So, wonderful thing. Jen does that for $30 a book. If you need to have your book formatted, she will format it, and basically you pay her $30 through PayPal, whatever. You can ask her. I don't really know all that much about it. I just know she did one yesterday, but she did hers for a different reason. But so basically, if you need some work with that, because if it's not going to be formatted, we may not read it, because that is crazy trying to basically, in order for, because I'm very picky. I'm sorry. I'm anal, and if it's not formatted, I'm not going to read it. So what's happening is Jen is formatting the books for me to keep, so we can continue with the review channel. She's formatting them, and then she's sending them to me. And personally, I don't think that's fair, because if you're an author and you're in this business, you should have your stuff formatted. And if you don't know how to format, then that's what we're here for. You have to ask us. You have to ask people these things. Just like, perfect example, when I first got started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I opened up a book. I was reading a book. I opened up the book and I was like, you know what? There has to be some way for me to fix my book so it looks exactly like this. And basically, I opened up a book, a hardcover. And I said, this is what I'm going to do to my book. I didn't know at the time, because that was 2011. I had no clue. When the publishing company published my book, they did everything. And so in 2015, when I left the publishing company, I had no clue. So my only thing was to look at it and do it the way the book looks and the way they sent it back to me when they did rewrites. And so that's how I learned to format. So if you don't know how to format, you have to ask someone, because we have got a ton of books that were not formatted. And then I went and looked at the book on Amazon, and the book is the exact same way on Amazon. So readers are very, very anal and cheesy. It's just the truth. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but you know it's true. Don't even try to front. If they open a book and they see something like that, the first thing they're going to do is click it off. Because remember, Amazon has look inside. And so if they look inside your book and it's looking all crazy like that, believe me, they are not clicking you and they will not buy that book. Because when they go for a book, they want to see a book. So, if you are an author out there who needs some help formatting, Jen has a service where she will format your book, no matter how many pages it is. I think that's not true. I think the $35 is for 100 pages and more. If you are under $35, I think it runs from 5 to 15 or something like that. You have to send her a message and ask her. But basically, yeah. So your book needs to be formatted, and we've gotten almost every submission. I would say every other submission is not formatted right. So if you need some help, make sure you ask. And if you can't afford the $30, then basically, I'm sure she can work something out with you, because the problem is if your book is not selling, I can almost guarantee you that's why it's not selling, because your book looks like that. So that's pretty much it. And then also, we thank you guys for the submission, and we ask that you keep sending them in, because we love reviewing them. And then tomorrow we will have our guest reviewer. So get ready for that. And then on Saturday, I will be reviewing, I believe, Arlie's Night Moves. That book is flame, y'all. And then I just got a message from Lexi. She's coming out with a new book. And so basically, of course, we'll have to review it here for you guys first. And then, and that's pretty much it. Just wanted to pop in with this review, especially since, yesterday we were having issues. Actually, day before yesterday. Everybody having to work. So I'm so sorry. That will happen from time to time, because, we got a life too, y'all. So that's pretty much it. And I will see you guys tomorrow with a new review. I can't say who it's by, because Jen sent the book to my daughter, because she's the one doing the review tomorrow. So it will be a surprise for you and for me. And that's pretty much it. Peace and love. And I will see you guys on Saturday, because I won't see you tomorrow.